Hot takes are fun, so a week ago I made a community post where anyone could have left their own crazy takes for me to react to, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. Thank you to everyone who participated, and let's start the video off with a really interesting take, and it goes like this. I feel like a system should be in place in bigger tournaments like slams and masters that prevents the draw from setting up two players from the same country from competing against each other in the first round. And honestly, I have never thought about something like that, but I guess it's a reasonable idea as it happens in the Champions League in football, where teams from the same country can face each other until a certain stage in the competition. But in tennis, I don't think it could work that well, to be honest, because the discrepancy between the amount of players that, for example, Italy and Japan have is too significant, so by implementing this system it would make the matchups in the first rounds of the big tournaments too predictable, because there would be too many rules that draw makers would need to follow in order to make the correct first round matches. But in general, I think this idea has legs, but it needs to be tweaked a bit. And Hamish, for some reason you followed up your interesting take by making this one next. Let's be real, Venus needs to retire. Like, no, Venus doesn't need to retire. Andy Murray doesn't need to retire. Nobody needs to retire. Legends like them decide when they want to retire. Nobody can tell them what to do, and I don't know, maybe this is a hot take, but Venus deserves every single wild card she gets. Who cares about those kids? If they continue playing well, they'll get their chances, but for now, legends of the sport deserve respect, and even if she loses her next match 6-love, let her do that. Let her understand that her time has passed, and then when she feels like retiring, celebrate her and shut up, cause giving a wild card to an all-time great can never be a bad decision, so I'm sorry, but this is a bad take. But moving on from one old head hater to an old head sympathizer who said this: Bjorn Borg could have been the greatest of all time if he didn't stop playing so early. I mean, look at his stats. And I guess you could be right, but at the same time there was a reason why he retired. He stopped loving the game. And if in an ideal world he continued playing through that time when he disliked the game, do you genuinely think that he would have been as great as he was during the time when he loved the game? I don't think so. Obviously he's an all-time great, and what if scenarios in terms of his career could be endless, but to be the greatest you have to have the mental side of the sport also in check. So I can't say that I agree with this take either. But as we are talking about the clay court GOAT, let's move on to the next take. Nadal loses in the first or the second round of the French Open, and it will be a difficult thing to accept for Rafa fans, but I do agree with this take. I just don't see him being fit enough for grueling Grand Slam tennis on the French clay courts. He played 3 matches in Brisbane against average players and his body already gave in, and even 2 months later it's not all good because he withdrew from Doha, so it doesn't fill me with any confidence for the future. We cannot forget that he's 37, and we have to be realistic with expectations, because if you expect less, then there is a better chance for you to be positively surprised. I mean, that's how I think people should approach this Nadal comeback. But now let's move on to a take that is a bit more lighthearted, and it goes like this: Jeff Bezos will host a tournament on the moon, and even though hosting a match on the moon is too futuristic for me, I do think that we are in for a ridiculous exhibition match in the future. We saw the battle of the surfaces happen. We had Federer and Agassi go for a hit on a helipad, so with the possible influx of Saudi money in tennis, I think there is a chance that they will try to buy the love for them by having some ridiculous exhibition match that would create the buzz all around the world. Maybe it won't happen on the moon, but money can make crazy things happen. And speaking of Saudis, this take involves them. I do not like events like the new one in Saudi where just a few top players are participating. It is pushing for the system of just the elite and for the elite. If you don't know, he's talking about the 6 Kings Slam that will feature Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner, Daniel Medvedev and Holger Rune. It will happen in the October of this year, and honestly I can't say that I like or that I dislike events like this, because I feel indifferent towards them. The same way I don't care about football players who go to play in Saudi for ridiculous amounts of money. I cannot blame them, and I guess it's great for the Saudis who live there, but it's obvious they're trying to buy the importance, and I don't think it works like that. Just let them do their own thing and ignore those exhibitions like you ignore every other exhibition tournament that happens in the world, because at the end of the day, those are not made for the wider audiences. Those are made for the people in the stands. Now let's do some quick fire. Once Djokovic wins 30 slams before retirement, my answer to this is fuck no. Alex de Minaur to win Masters title, and I guess it's possible, but which Masters tournament would be the one for him to win? Honestly, I do not know. Carlos Alcaraz is overhyped and we will not see him dominate like he did in a season where he won the Wimbledon title. Well, this is just a stupid take, and speaking of stupid takes, Rune is going to be out of the top 20. Listen, you just need to get your ass beat. And on that note, you ruined my mood, so leave other hot takes in the comment section down below. I'll definitely check them out. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take it easy, my friend.